What's up, everybody? This is Derek from Sit Stay Sober, and today we're going to be reacting to some dogs. We're going to just see what's out there on YouTube, what's out there on the internet, and kind of just give you my opinion. So here we go. Just what a mess to be in. There's still some more to this video, and I'll play it in a second, but just right off the bat, this is why when customers ask me about my thoughts about having their dog off leash, I always tell them, don't do it. It's not worth it, and you can't control the world, okay? You can control yourself, and you can control your dog to the best of your ability. Everything else is out of your control. So why relinquish the one thing you can control and just pray, right? And I'm speaking from experience. I've had very well-trained dogs, and I used to be the biggest culprit to having my dog off leash. You know, there was probably like a 4 or 5 year stretch with my Pitbull Thor that I never leashed him. He would just freaking follow me. Great recall, very well like disciplined in the fact that like he wouldn't fall victim to poor impulse control. And even with him, there's one moment where I was like, all right, I'm actually never doing that again. Like I'm putting the leash back on him. Basically, we were out at a beach, and some freaking little critter, I don't even know what it was, just ran across in front of him and ran into the marsh, and it literally like went right under, like by his foot, and then ran into the woods or into the marsh, and he went after it, and he went like, I don't know, 100 feet, 50 feet, but it's like into like low tide marsh, and he got himself pretty much stuck in the muck. And I remember this being so mad because I was with, you know, a girl who I was trying to impress, and I had just bought in white sneakers, and I go over there to get the dog, and I come back, I am covered in mud freaking up to my knees, and it's like not like mud, it's like low tide swamp water, so it smells like egg farts, you know. And now I'm just like a complete idiot, you know, my dog just being a dog, you know. And like I said, I relinquished control of the one thing I could control, and you know, that my prayers were not answered that day. So yeah, if you are one of those people that walks with your dog off leash all the time, or you're like, my dog's good enough, he can walk off leash, oh, he listens to me. There's gonna be that day where he's going to encounter something that his instincts are gonna take over, and they're gonna behave in a way that they typically wouldn't. So don't put yourself or your dog in that kind of a situation. And you know, a dog, you have no idea, like in your mind it's just that dog that we're watching in this video, he could be one of those dogs that's just absolutely amazing, and his owner has a high amount of trust in him. But he encountered a horse. He may have never seen a horse, and his instinct was, yo, fuck this thing, you know, I'm gonna show this motherfucker who's boss. And you know, big Pitbull, he's just like, it can be part of some of their nature. Like they're a little bit more fearless than maybe some of your other breeds. And so he just put himself and his dog, and unfortunately that lady and that horse and the family, that woman's family, in a very bad position. So don't do that to yourself. Keep your dog on a leash. And if you really want him to have the freedom, get a 30-foot, 40-foot nylon lead that you can control. He'll have the freedom. And you might get annoying untangling him or untangling him from stuff. But at the end of the day, you're still in control of your dog. So don't do this. Okay? So let's watch the rest of it.
She's fine. I've got video evidence. I've got all that on video. It's alright, Al. Mummy's fine.
So even when the owner leashed the dog, that dog was pulling and going towards the horse. And honestly, that is a very well-trained horse. That horse had a lot of tolerance to some crap behavior. I was talking about Thor, and when I first got Thor, my dog, I worked on a farm, and the farm had like 5 or 6 horses. And again, me being the knucklehead, I was 19 years old, 18 years old, and I just let him be off leash because he would follow me everywhere. And this is what kind of started me getting really into training because of what happened. Thor sees a horse. He's a puppy. He thinks everyone's his friend. He goes walking over to the horse. Mind you, he's probably like 14 weeks or so. And he goes over to the horse. The horse fucking kicks the shit out of him and like dislocates his jaw. So I was at fault, okay? To me, I'm like, oh, I work on a horse farm. They always see dogs and blah, blah, blah. My dog's following me. And he just went under the fence and got his freaking jaw kicked in. Luckily, that was all that happened. And he ended up being okay, right? And he ended up giving horses a lot of respect after that and not going near their feet. And again, it wasn't even his fault, it was my fault. So I'm saying this from experience. Don't put yourself in these situations where it can end up real bad, where either A, you're hurting someone else, hurting your dog, or just absolutely looking like a complete fool, right? And hopefully not all three. So, if you, and again, dogs need training. So you need to set them up in a way that you have control of all the controllables so that you're setting them up for success. And then training can help make them more successful, right? So that guy failed. He gets a big fat F. I'm sure he loves his dog, but in that specific situation, he's very lucky the dog didn't bite the woman. He was going after the horse. That he didn't redirect that aggression or intensity onto the owner or the child. So that guy again, big fat F. Hopefully one day he's passing and he gets to see, be, and maybe one day an A. But in that video, the guy failed bad.
Two Pitbulls are attacking a car. In fact, they're taking it apart. Surrounding the vehicle from both sides, the Pitbulls ferociously go at the Honda piece by piece. Fenders and other car parts fly into the driveway in Jacksonville, Florida. The owner of the SUV, Christy Barr, couldn't believe it when she saw the damage the following morning. Then she looked at her Ring surveillance footage.
On the video, you could see both of them tugging on it, and they were tugging so hard that my car moved.
It's unclear if the dogs are strays or not. The damage to the SUV.
So, just, I love Pitbulls. They're the freaking best. I love them to death. But, first things first, I'm seeing, this is in the middle of the night, so from what I'm seeing in the video, I don't see any collars on them. Right? It's like, I understand people take their collars off and want their dog to like relax, but there was a big fail somewhere in their environmental management where those dogs got out. Okay, and again, I understand mistakes happen. You know, it's like got 1,000 things going on, and you thought you shut the baby gate, or you thought you shut the door, or you know, your landscaper leaves a gate open in the backyard, and your dogs get out. I understand that. But again, it's really on the owner to make sure. And again, just speaking from my own mistakes, and with my Pitbull Thor, it was a family barbecue, and it started like raining, and it was getting nighttime, so everyone, you know, congregates inside, and I see he has to go to the bathroom, so I just open up the sliding door, shut the door, I let him out, and normally he would go potty, and he would come back within, you know, 2 minutes. And again, this is when he was a puppy. This is like in the first year I had him, and open up the door, and right when I open up the door, I see my back gate is wide open, and he was just over in the parking lot, and I was like, oh my god, that could have been so bad if this adorable little Pitbull puppy, hey, he could have been stolen, could have been hurt, could have gotten into something, you know, or he could have hurt someone else, even though he was a very sweet boy. Again, you're just putting your dog in these bad positions, right? So I learned from that. I was like, right when that happened, I was like, every time I grab this sliding door, I am looking at the gates to make sure that there's no way he's getting out, right? So whoever that owner was, it sucks. You're kind of at fault, you know? It's like almost every time it's like you're at fault. Usually the owners are at fault. And those guys are very, particularly in this video, but Pitbulls overall, they're very freaking strong. And as we heard from that lady, they tore her, they destroyed the freaking shit out of that car. Part of me was like, that's crazy, that's badass, that they're that strong, and that they can do that kind of shit. But coming back to reality is like, damn, if that was my dogs doing that, I would be ashamed. I'd be so embarrassed, and I'd be like, I fucked up on such a bad level. And I'm so sorry to this lady in her car. So let's watch the rest of this video and see if you guys can guess maybe why they're doing that.
Almost $3,000. So, what's got the dogs in such a frenzy? This little guy, the neighborhood cat. There's the frisky feline just before the attack. She actually hid in the engine during the ambush and escaped unharmed.
Nobody believed me until they saw it on tape. It was just bizarre. Nobody believed that dogs would do that.
So, when I first saw the video, I was like, because I just saw it quickly, I thought, critter got under the car. I wasn't sure, I didn't think it was going to be a cat. I was thinking like a mouse or a rat or something. And, yes, and it's like if you've ever seen like a Jack Russell Terrier, or even just taking any other dog, you ever see them like digging up a hole real quick, or like they're like pacing around like a little mound, and it's like, oh, usually it's a critter. So when I saw them behaving like that, I was like, there's a critter in that freaking, you know, like under the car. Or I've also seen dogs who are not exercised at all. They'll find themselves activities that we do not deem good, you know. So, and maybe the most innocent version of this is maybe they're just finding something to chew on, and they kind of did both. They found a critter and they found something to chew on. So again, owner, I'm sorry, it's a big fail. You got your giant dogs running around the neighborhood at nighttime, zero control of them, obviously, because the owner's not present. And man, just as much as we love our dogs, there are people who love their cats, and if they saw their cat getting destroyed on their freaking Ring camera, man, you know, some people, that's like grounds for murder, you know. Whether they could go to jail for it is another story, but just emotionally, some people are gonna freaking kill your ass, kill your dogs, you know. I know in some states it's like, I think you could probably shoot that damn dog and no one would give a shit, you know, at least in the law's eyes. And then it's the owner's fault. They put themselves in a position where their dogs are able to escape. That's why, just again, owner's fault. And I honestly, I'm projecting a little bit as far as like maybe what I think is also part of the problem. Those dogs did a lot of damage and they were very intent on getting to that cat. So the owner could work on training, right? Like working on impulse controls, right? So from in prey drive aggression, like these are things that they can work on. And then also training at the home about leaving the property. There's so many great YouTube videos and shorts and like Instagram shorts of, if you ever see like the dog, people in the trainer are walking and then they walk onto the street and the dog stops and refuses to go. So you can do that with your property line. You can do the same thing with your property, and you know, so they could have tried that with their dog. And then a part of me that thinks that why they had so much energy to do it is because I don't think those dogs are getting exercise. You know, like I had 2 big pit bulls, and dude, I taught them how to ride next to me on a bike. I would take them to the field and do the chuck it. I would do the flirt pole. I taught them how to use the treadmill. So I had a plethora of things to tire my dogs out. And 6-7 o'clock at night, they would barely want to lift their head because they were just so tired. So even if the freaking gate was opened, they're like, dude, we got it made in the AC. We got it, it's nice and warm inside. The beds are comfy. I'm staying here. Because they just had so much energy taken out of them. So again, it's just kind of like, in my mind, it's like a double fail. Owner failed the training and then failed environmental control. And again, I understand people get busy, mistakes happen, but if you're gonna get a big powerful breed like that, get any breed really, but especially a dog that can do a ton of damage, you have to be on your P's and Q's, like very minimal room for mistakes, you know? It's like my brother has a little Pomeranian, and it's like, I don't give a shit. No Pomeranian is pulling the tire liner, the fender liner, and a bumper off a fucking SUV. It's never happening. And if your dog was to go after somebody, that dog's getting punted, you know, and it's going far. It's like those 2 big ass pit bulls. Why, if you see enough dog attack videos, it's like, man, once they latch on, it's like these people become helpless, you know. So, and if you kick that dog, it's barely moving, it's just like turning its neck and then right back. So again, don't put your dogs in that situation, don't put yourself in that situation, and don't put your community in that situation. Again, I say these things, trust me, I have failed miserably in my life with dogs, so I'm speaking from experience, right? And then I'm also speaking as someone who works with dogs, trains dogs for a living now, you know, so. Alright, let's continue. Let's watch some more. Alright, next video, kind of sticking on theme here a little bit, with dogs being off-leash. It's a little different, but you'll see what I'm talking about.
This couple was fishing in their kayaks when they noticed a puppy that was caught in a current.
Bro, there's a dog.
Hurry, help the dog, he's gonna drown. Okay.
After quickly grabbing his kayak and paddle, he began to move out to where the dog was.
Come here, baby. Oh, it's okay. It's okay, baby boy.
The puppy, after swimming for an unknown amount of time, was exhausted and glad to be rescued.
Just grab this paddle here.
Once they arrived at the bridge catwalk, they hoisted the pup up to safety.
What are you doing?
Now that the pup was out of the water and safe, it was time to find the owner. They noticed a boat speeding around and managed to wave it down.
He's coming back! You lose the dog!
Come here, baby. You're going. I knew it, bro. Thanks, brother. I really got it, dude.
Yeah!
God, that was awful.
You could tell you were looking for something the way you were standing up there.
Thank you, dude. Dude, oh.
This couple was fishing in their kayaks when they...
So, again, just owner mistakes and accidents happen. I think that one's probably more in the genuine mistakes. But something that I probably would have done was keep your dog on a leash. It looked like when those two people who did a freaking fantastic job, they just like jumped into action. In my head, I thought, when I first saw the video, I was like, just jump in and grab him, you know, but they had a kayak ready to go, and that was probably a much better option. No, but they did a great job, the people who rescued the dog. But the owner, again, when he finally got the dog, you saw that he got tied up. So if that was my dog, and he looked like a puppy, if that was mine, I would have made sure I had the proper equipment for the day out on the beach, right? Or out on the boat. And that's making sure that his collar's not too loose, that he's got enough lead to kind of, you know, move around and go on the boat. And then the other one that I saw, and I was like, dude, they sell life vests for dogs. Put a freaking neon green or orange life vest on your dog, you know. And they even have ones that have like a little pillow under their neck, so that even if he gets tired and you want to rest his head, they're still floating. So, and they're not at risk of freaking drowning. And in the video, you can see the boat is flying looking for this puppy, and you know, as any owner with a heart would be. But he just made his life so much harder trying to find a black or brown lab floating in the water, you know, where it'd be much easier if you just saw this big fluorescent orange or green life vest. So that probably gave him quite the scare. He's probably learned his lesson, hopefully. And you know, he's a young pup, and that pup was like even when he got out of the water, and like the video says, they don't know how long that dog was swimming or how far, he still had the wiggles. He was still very happy-go-lucky. And if the dog deemed that was fun, you best bet he's gonna like, let's do that again, right? So if I'm the owner, I am like triple checking everything, and I'm bringing like, so all of my equipment is good, and then I'm also bringing things for the dog. Treat dispensing toys, you know, a frozen Kong with peanut butter. You know, you're going on a boat all day, you probably have a cooler. Put that Kong in there, a frozen Kong, put it in the cooler, and then, you know, give it to him. And yeah, that looked like it was gonna be much worse than what it was to me. I thought it was gonna be much worse, but it ended up being kind of like a sweet video. And the owner, dude, I would be like shaking. I'd be like, oh my god. So a little bit more heartwarming. not the worst fail of the day, I would say. I mean, it's like, I don't know, maybe it is. Freaking, that might be bad. Because the dog could have drowned, you know? So it's like, yeah, I don't know. It's a fail. It's still an F. It's like no matter what you look at the grade, you just still get an F. So last video here.
Oh my goodness, you're so cute, you and sweet.
So that's a sweet video. So the owner gets a freaking an A when we compare it to the other videos. Great job. So something that she did there was she did like a little gasp, like, and in my mind, like as like a dog trainer, they call it a no reward marker, which is just basically telling the dog, oops, you made a mistake. And people will use like nope as like kind of like their way of telling the dog messed up. It's like a Caesar Milan will do like the psh, right, and it's like a correction. He uses more of like a correction, but this is it. The no reward marker is more of like a you answer the wrong question and you gotta hear like a buzzer, like meh, wrong. So she kind of did that to him in like an adorable way, and you saw him just like, or her, the dog, just kind of like, and then take it. And she's in with a dog like that beautiful Rottweiler. You definitely want them to have control of their mouth, and that little sequence that we saw there, you could see that dog was pretty well behaved, and the owner had the jaws under control. Now it was just a sweet little dog, sweet big dog, and just a sweet moment. Yeah. So now my feed is more filled with like it's like I either get bad dogs biting things, going after things, or like the dodo videos, you know, like just like a sweet moment. And it's like you watch a couple of those videos where, to me, it gives me anxiety. You see some of those, you're like, oh, like, okay, that's much better. So yeah, this has been us reacting to some dogs. Leave a like, follow for some more, and we'll see you in the next one.